In this video, I'm going to tell you how I came across a whole bunch of Alex and Ani bracelets for pretty cheap, including a couple that are missing their charms, and then I'm going to show you how to DIY and customize any Alex and Ani bracelets that you have without charms. I recently saw a post on the Pittsburgh Airport's Facebook page that they were going to be having a public auction where they were going to be selling all of the abandoned property at the airport from the previous year. That just sounded amazing. Like, what kind of crazy, mysterious things are left at the airport over the course of a year, and how cheap could you get them? My husband and I are both all about a good bargain, so of course we immediately decided we had to go to this, and when we told a couple of our local friends about it, they were also immediately on board. The initial Facebook post didn't have a lot of details, so we had to do a little bit of research and look a little further into things. For instance, the actual auction wasn't going to be held at the airport in the terminal where you're used to going when you go to the airport. It was in sort of a more back lot area off of like some service roads and whatnot. So you couldn't just put this into your GPS and show up there because the road that it was supposed to be on didn't show up for us on any of our GPS apps. Eventually, we did find some better directions, and with a little bit of searching on Google Maps, we had a pretty good idea of where to go. According to the post, the actual auction was supposed to start at 10 a.m., but the doors opened at 8:30. We didn't want to get there too crazy early, so we decided to get there around 9. And once we got into the general area, it was pretty well marked. They had some signs up that said auction and pointed you into the correct direction. Our very first step was to wait in line and register. With just my driver's license, I was able to get a bidder's card as well as a listing of all of the lots being auctioned that day. And if you're thinking that there was maybe just some random junk like some belts that would be left behind at security, well, you'd be right, but you'd also be wrong because there were some amazing things. They were actually auctioning off like 15 cars, and I'm not talking Matchbox. Actual, physical, full-size passenger vehicles. Pontiacs, Chryslers, pickup trucks, cars. There was a retired bomb squad truck, apparently. Some sort of a fire truck. There looked to be like one of the little luggage cart haulers. Really random vehicles, but definitely some normal passengers have apparently just left their cars at the airport, which we found kind of strange. There was a 2014 Denali with only 36,000 miles on it. Definitely a highly anticipated listing of the day. But of course, we weren't really there for a car. We weren't really there for anything in particular. We were kind of there just to see what would happen, what was available, would there be anything worth it, would you be able to get a decent deal? But once we were registered, we were able to go over and start inspecting the different listings. Pretty quickly, I was interested in jewelry because I'm always interested in jewelry, and they had a lot of it. For the jewelry, I don't think there were any individual pieces. Everything was broken up into lots. For instance, one lot would be a little Ziploc baggie with like 6 rings in it. There was definitely some sort of fine jewelry objects, but there was also a lot of costume jewelry. Obviously, the bigger things would be on a pallet or maybe in a large cardboard box, but the smaller lots were put into these cardboard trays. They were each labeled with a barcode that has the lot number on it. So if you saw a tray that interested you, you could look at the lot number and then check the paper, or you could go through the listings first and be like, oh, okay, those are MacBooks and they're all in these numbers, and you could go and hunt down those boxes to get a closer look at those. This is one of the boxes that caught my eye right off the bat. It was just listed as charm bracelets, but all but one of them are Alex and Ani, and I was immediately pretty interested in it. Before the actual auction started, we did a little quick math about how much an Alex and Ani bracelet tends to run and how many of the bracelets were actually in the box, and we decided on how much we wanted to spend on that box as a max. So when the bidding started, we would know, oh, okay, we're over where we want to go, just stop. We wouldn't get caught up and just keep bidding, because if you go too high at an auction, obviously it's not a bargain anymore. If you're paying retail price or more, it's not really worth it. Because of the huge crowd all trying to look at the boxes before the auction started, it was a little hard to get a really good look at the box. So I didn't know exactly how many or what bracelets were in it, just that it looked pretty promising. I actually only ended up bidding once, but I ended up winning it, so good enough, and I was pretty happy. I kind of quickly skimmed the box on the way out to the car, but I didn't really get to examine everything until we got everything home. I ended up with 20 bracelets, which I'm very happy about, and I immediately claimed a bunch of them that I definitely want to keep for myself. Some of the other bracelets I was also very quick to realize would be perfect gifts for people, but there were 2 bracelets that don't have any charms. The DIYer that I am immediately began wondering what I could do to fix that problem. So if you have any Alex and Ani bracelets that you've lost the charms, do not despair, they are not a lost cause. It's really easy to sort of DIY and customize your own one-of-a-kind, unique Alex and Ani bracelet. All I'm using are some tiny needle nose pliers. I got these a long time ago at Walmart in the craft section. They had like a jewelry repair kit, very affordable and easy to find. Then I just went through all my old jewelry and found things that were in okay condition, but maybe not the best, that I never wear anymore but have been taking up space, and kind of picked out things that I thought I might be able to make use of. Obviously, the most important part will be any sort of little charm that you can have that will be hanging down off the bracelet, but also keep in mind that you're going to need some little plain rings. On any sort of costume jewelry, you can find these little tiny metal rings. You can of course buy new ones if you like, but I'm all about upcycling and making use of things that I have sitting around anyway, so I found some pieces that had the kind of appropriate colors of metal that I didn't want the actual necklace anymore, and I'm just going to take those rings. This is one of my bracelets that is missing the charms. You can see there are places where things clearly were hanging from them but no longer are, but I'm not too worried about that. I'm sure I'll find something. Since this is a silver tone bracelet, I want to put some charms onto it that tone in nicely with that. For instance, I have this necklace that I have had for years, but I never wear anymore. But I really love these simple rhinestoney blingy charms. They have a nice big ring on each of them. They'll go with just about anything, so I think adding several of these to one bracelet will really give me something very wearable with a lot of sparkle. So once I select a charm, I'm going to find the seam in that ring, and I'm going to grip one side with one pair of needle nose, and the other side with another pair, and I'm just going to pull them apart. I want to end up with a space in the charm so I can pull the necklace out of it. Then I just grab my bracelet, insert the charm just where I want it, grip the pliers again, and bend it back into a continuous ring. Once you have the ring tightly closed, you're good to go, and you can just add as many charms as you want now. Since I'm dealing with a charm bracelet and these are going to be dangling in all different directions, I have them alternating, so I have some sparkly on one side and the other one is sparkly on the other side. So no matter what angle I'm at, I'll get a little bit of sparkle off this bracelet. For my second plain bracelet, I had this old sterling silver D20 pendant that I kind of love but never really wear anymore. It just seemed like it was hard to find an outfit for me to really put this D20 with. So I added that up here to the main charm area, and I went ahead and put one of these same little sparklies that I had put on the other bracelet down on the other portion of the bracelet, just to add a little extra bling to this bracelet and tie them two together. And now I have two completely custom, one-of-a-kind Alex and Ani bracelets. They've got a little bit of extra bling, which is very me, as well as a touch of nerdiness in that D20. I kind of love these. What do you think? So now, not only do I have a whole bunch of perfectly fine, regular Alex and Ani bracelets in pretty decent condition for pretty cheap, I also have two completely unique and custom ones, upcycled from some jewelry that I already owned but just didn't wear even though I kind of still liked them, so I held on to them. So I really like having these unique pieces that nobody else has, and they kind of have a bit of my personality to them. And while I'm very happy with my purchase at the auction, overall it was just sort of a fun experience, just something interesting to do that you don't do every day, and I'm pretty sure we're going to go to the auction next year. What do you think? Are you going to be able to customize any broken Alex and Ani bracelets of your own? I hope you found this useful and inspiring. If you did, please like and subscribe down below. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.